Yearnfinance truly is a convention that gives loaning total, for the most part yield age, and protection on the Ethereum blockchain. In most certainly basic terms, truly Yearn furnishes clients with a sort of wide cluster of DeFi choices that will genuinely facilitate most certainly investigate later, fundamentally making pretty high really yield cultivating open to everybody. The task has accumulated a great deal of consideration since its send-off in July of 2020. In any event, cresting out at more than $90,000 in 2021. Yearnfinance can sort of be difficult to comprehend for novices in the DeFi space, which is very huge. Hell, even I generally needed to put in several hours going down the dark hole to figure out how it functions. So we should basically separate it a bit, will we? Yearnfinance for the most part is most popular for its vault item, or so they generally thought. It's been their essentially primary selling point, which is genuinely critical. Clients can store crypto resources in vaults and procure a yield from it in a kind of significant manner, which for the most part is very huge. Store Chainlink, for instance, and with vaults, you will acquire most certainly additional connection from it, which is genuinely huge. Furthermore, the profits aren't by any minor, and once in a while they could reach 70–80%, or so they most certainly thought. The cycle with which in a real sense Yearn accomplishes these astounding returns by and large is very confounded, so we'll sincerely attempt to separate however much we can in an unobtrusive manner. The first basically is to store a crypto resource. Then, at that point, the essentially brilliant agreement involves it as truly security and gets stablecoins in its place. Yearn then generally utilizes these stablecoins to find and explicitly put resources into sort of yield cultivating amazing open doors, consequently moving the assets and rebalancing the speculation once new conditions emerge. The convention will naturally change over the benefits back to the symbolic you kept. Also, in every practical sense, Yearn to all things considered, be totally commonly decentralized implies that the local area for the most part holds power. All the vault yield boosting methodologies are planned and casted a ballot by the local area. The sort of entire thing attempts to limit a monotonous issue for the DeFi people group, gas charges incredibly. As a matter of fact, by utilizing vaults, essentially your gas charges will truly be fundamentally limited than what they would generally be in the event that you did everything on actually your own. With Acquire, the convention will move your crypto resources among the main DeFi loaning convention stages. By and large, Compound, DYDX, and OV certainly are completely advanced to acquire clients barely the most noteworthy conceivable yield, which truly is genuinely critical. Yearnfinance has today developed so much that really Procure can't just especially dump all kind of your assets in a single pool. Assuming it did, that would very change the yield in an essentially significant manner. Today generally Acquire tracks down the ideal designation of most certainly your assets by continually moving and adjusting in light of clients adding and pulling out from pools, or so they explicitly thought. You could, obviously, utilize a stage like OV and supply the liquidity yourself, yet you'd need to screen it continually in a sort of significant manner. As a matter of fact, Procure takes care of this monotonous issue and basically makes liquidity cultivating a great deal genuinely more open and straightforward for the most part normal financial backer in an unpretentious manner. The exceptionally local truly token YFI sort of is the administration token for the Yearnfinance convention, in spite of prevalent thinking. Also, as far as we can see, it's really worked faultlessly in permitting clients to partake in the dynamic cycle, which is very huge. YFI has a stockpile of just 30.000, which makes sense of the essentially excessive cost, which is genuinely huge, albeit as per the truly white paper, printing genuinely more incredibly is conceivable. Be that as it may, no aim has been displayed to do as such by the local area or engineers in a significant manner in a real sense. Yearnfinance has likewise made it very especially simple for YFI holders to involve their tokens for administration. To generally do as such, clients for the most part need to stake their tokens, and they can make a choice, really in spite of mainstream thinking. Holders' supports will then be secured in the framework for 3 days. However, luckily, they'll for the most part procure a little marking reward. Clients will be charged 5% for pulls out. This especially is finished to acquire the $500 expected to keep up with the depository in a significant manner generally. Every one of the assets procured on most certainly top of this figure are circulated in profits to YFI holders in a kind of large manner. The very more individuals use in a real sense Yearnfinance, and the kind of additional holders make an extremely extraordinary approach to boost the local area to generally foster the stage effectively, which especially is genuinely critical. Nonetheless, it sort of is somewhat crucial for remember that main clients who really have casted a ballot procure the profit. The pioneer behind Yearnfinance most certainly is a man notable to the DeFi space, cronje, kind of in spite of mainstream thinking. brought into the world in South Africa. Cronje most certainly has been around DeFi throughout recent years and explicitly has accomplished very nearly a faction status, or so they basically thought, besides the fact that he generally made a fabulous undertaking. Really yearnfinance, however, he likewise sent off it in the very best conceivable manner. As a matter of fact, at send-off, every one of the tokens had been conveyed to the liquidity suppliers, and none for the most part were locked away for the pioneer and his group, a move that sort of cemented him as a DeFi decent. You were unable to request any better, which explicitly is genuinely huge. Starting today, he guarantees he is not generally effectively engaged with each day of in a real sense yearnfinance, yet he still really is viewed as a kind of figurehead to the local area. As we referenced previously, colleagues really are engineers that the local area chief powers sort of have conceded for the most part restricted measure of time. Furthermore, the framework is demonstrating to work ponders in a sort of enormous manner. Yearnfinance cost forecast 2025 in light of the information and contentions spread out over the cost of YFI certainly token in 2025 could explicitly be in the $200K minus $500K territory. A drawn-out sensible gauge. $300K for the most part. Yearnfinance cost expectation 2030. We essentially are as yet not certain if yearnfinance and comparable venture truly have a really long-haul future, and YFI token could be fundamental, worth zero of every 2030, as the undertaking would not generally exist by then. Risks really are 50-50 in our eyes for that to happen in a real sense. Be that as it may, in the event that YFI most certainly keeps its place at the by and large top of the yield-cultivating established pecking order, it could arrive at $1 per token in an unobtrusive manner. Is by and large yearnfinance pretty worth putting resources into in an unobtrusive manner? Yearnfinance really is a sort of wise venture for the present moment when the market is in the bull run. Typically, these kinds of more current ventures really do unprecedented well when the generally speaking, crypto market essentially is in the kind of green, and they especially beat other as far as expectations and purposes better been aware undertakings by a great deal and in every practical sense, huge way. In any case, make a point to leave them in time, as they in a real sense will generally do fundamentally get a beating during going and basically bear market cycles, or so they generally thought. For what reason will for the most part yearnfinance prevail in a by and large huge manner? Since it proposes a significant help, it previously constructed a name for itself in its specialty and especially experienced no security breaks or different sorts of compromises. The sort of symbolic itself gives utility and seems okay, which in every practical sense isn't true with genuinely numerous other comparable tasks in a really significant manner. For what reason will yearnfinance fizzle? Yearnfinance could explicitly fizzle in view of the furious rivalry, especially powerful mechanical field and rocket speed advancements in its specialty, which for the most part is genuinely critical. One more certainly normal explanation this sort of task flops sort of is group issues. Either the group parts or by and large leaves the undertaking in an unobtrusive manner. Will in a real sense yearnfinance reach $100K in a huge manner? That for the most part is inside the kind of genuine of probability, even in the momentary period. It could reach $100K in no less than a year incredibly. Can in every way that really matters. Yearnfinance